Hello there, this is going to be a video about inputs and variables and f-strings and appending list items and array indexing. So hopefully this should be quite clear. Now the first thing we're going to do is look at printing variables, then printing inputs. But let's look at printing variables first. So let's say I have a favorite animal. So I'm going to make the variable like so. Inside favorite animal, I'm going to type in my favorite animal, gorilla. Now let's say favorite color, and inside favorite color, I'm going to type in green. So now, if I want to print out these variables, I can do that super easily. I can just say favorite animal, and this will print out gorilla. You can see it says gorilla. If I change this to gorilla123, it's now going to change to gorilla123. Super easy. I could also actually print both things in the same f string. So I can say favorite color like so. If I wanted to, and it'd say gorilla green. I could also put this in front and then it would say favorite color, then favorite animal. So it would say green gorilla. Amazing, super easy. So this is saving strings or words inside of variables. Now, what about if I don't want to save gorilla inside of a variable, but I want to save maybe the user's input. So I can then say input, and I'm going to ask the question of what is your favorite animal? Now, this can be a little bit confusing, but what's happening is this is going to be projected or shown onto the console. I'm then going to type my answer in, press enter. That is going to be saved into favorite animal, and then the favorite animal variable inside of the print statement will be updated. So let's take a look at what happens. So instead of saying gorilla, I'm going to say my favorite animal is a dolphin. So now it's going to say favorite color, which is green, and favorite animal, which is now equal to dolphin. So let's press enter. Green dolphin. Amazing, super good. I can do the same thing here, right? So we can say input, what is your favorite color? And I can press play. Now I can say my favorite animal is a bear and my favorite color is, let's say, purple. So now it says purple bear. So what have we done here? We've created a variable, and inside the variable we've saved the answer to the input, which we type into the console, and then we've printed out those variables. Super easy. Now, here's what I want you to do next is I want you to use an f string. So instead of printing out like this, I can now use an f string, which we learned about. So we can say something like, my favorite animal is an favorite animal. And then I can make another print statement like so. Let's actually put in, actually we'll leave that as it is. My favorite color is favorite color. There we go. If I press play, now I'm going to type in, let's type in a funny animal. Let's do armadillo, why not? And we'll say brown. So you can see that now it says my favorite animal is a favorite animal, which is armadillo. My favorite color is brown, which is favorite color right here. Super easy. Now here's where things can get a little bit difficult, okay? Here's what I'm going to do for you. So we're going to make a list. And inside the list, we're going to say, ingredients. Now in my ingredients, or my cupboard, I have onions, I have peppers, I have cheese, I have spices. Let's say oil, let's make it easier. I will also have sesame seeds, we'll have green onions. I have all of these things inside my ingredients. So if I now print ingredients, it's going to print out the entire list like so. Onions, peppers, cheese, oil, sesame seeds, and green onions. Now, the next thing we're going to be doing now is we are going to be appending Okay, so let's make this clearer for us. We're going to use an F string. We can say the list before I append is going to be equal to ingredients, like so. And then I'm going to actually add something. So I'm going to say ingredients.append, and inside the append, I'm going to put a new ingredient. Let's say chili sauce. So you can see that right now in my list, there is no chili sauce. And you can see that this is the list before I append, that, well, there is no chili sauce in this list, right? But if I show you the list after I append chili sauce, which means to add on chili sauce, you can see that now the list contains chili sauce right here. You can see the second list has chili sauce. As a matter of fact, let's make this even clearer by just adding a space, and then that'll be easier to see. So you can see, yes, the list after I append has chili sauce, the list before I append has nothing. So the way we do this is really simple. We use the name of the list, which is ingredients. We use .append, and we add something new. So I'm going to append something. What will I append? Now I'm going to use everything I've learned so far to append user input into this ingredients list. So I'm going to say new ingredient is equal to input what did you find, and inside new ingredient I'm going to put, or rather inside append, I'm going to put a new ingredient. So let's run this one time and see what's happening. So here we're going to say the list before I append is onions, peppers, cheese, oil, sesame seeds, and green onions. However, when I use this input right here, I can now say that I found, what did I find? Let's say I found Sprite. Well, actually, we'll make it easier, cola. So when I press enter, cola is now saved into new ingredient, and then it's going to be added using the append method to the ingredients list on line 1. So now when it prints off the list after I append, it's going to say cola. You can see it says cola right there. So that should be pretty easy. I can do this as many times as I want to, right? So I can do this again. I can say new ingredient 2, new ingredient 3, and then I can also add as many things as I want, like so. So let's add a few more things. Let's say we found chili sauce. Let's say we found flour. And let's say we found ice cream. Why not? So now you can see we have chili sauce, flour, and ice cream. So we're asking the user what they found. We're saving that into a variable, and then we're using that variable to append to the list, right? So if you can follow this along, you should be able to complete section 3 of the homework. And you don't need to add the F string here. You can just simply print out ingredients like so. Oh, I'm forgetting the N. There we go. And here we're going to add a few things. Let's press play. We're going to add nuts, fruits, grapes. And now you can see nuts, fruits, and grapes has been appended to the ingredient list. Amazing job. Perfect. Okay, so the next thing we are now going to do is continue to section 4. So let's continue to section 4. I'm just double checking to see that there's nothing else in section 3. Yes, there's nothing else. So section 4, okay. Here's what we're going to do. You want to create a list called candies with 4 items. So I'm going to do this with you, right? Let's do this together because this can be quite difficult. I'm going to put in 4 different candies that I know of. Let's do Maichu. I know that is not how you spell it, but that's how it sounds in English. We'll also do Haribo. We'll do Trolley, and we'll do, what other candies are there? Let's do mint choco candies. Okay. Very strange list, I know, but that's fine. Now we're going to say this. Okay, we're going to ask the user. So we're going to say candy user wants, because we want the user to be able to choose one of these candies. And we're going to say, what candy do you want? And matter of fact, we're going to take actually, no, this will be fine. So we're going to ask them what number or what candy do you want? And we're going to say that they can choose from 0, 1, 2, or 3, like so. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to say this. We're going to say print. We're going to use an F string. The user wanted candies. Candy user wants. Like so. Perfect. Okay, so what is this doing? Let's take a look at what this is doing slowly. This might be really complicated, right? But actually you've done this before. And yeah, it's pretty easy. Okay, so I'm just double checking to see why this is coming up as a red error. Ah, okay. So don't worry about this, but I'm gonna help you here. So you'll need to add this right here, int, like so. Okay, don't worry about what this is for now. Just make sure you add it. When we press play, you can now see that when I type in 3, it's gonna say, oh, the user wanted mint chocolate candies. So using this, I can now print out the candy that the user wants, which is quite easy. So super good. Now using this, you should be able to complete section 4 because this is very similar to section 4. All right. So we have a list with 4 different candy items. We have a variable. Inside the variable, we're asking the user what candy they want. We're asking them to give us a number. And then we're printing out the candies list. And then we're using the variable inside to access these list items. So let's break that down a little bit more. As you already know, if we say candies 0, like so, let's actually get rid of this too. Candy 0 is Maichu, right? Candies 3 is mint chocolate candies. So all we're doing is we're just getting the user to give us a number. That's all we're doing, right? And then we're saving that number inside a variable. So we can actually make it easier. We can say number is equal to, and remember to add this int. Don't worry about what that does right now, but remember to add it. Give me a number between 0 and 3. Perfect. Now we can say print candies 3. Okay, so let's actually print out the candy too. So we can say print f the user wants. So we're going to use candies. Then inside of these square brackets, we're going to say number. But remember to wrap it inside of these curly braces because these curly braces are very important. So now you can see it says give me a number. Let's do 2. The user wants trolley. Yes, look. So because I typed in 2, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. Perfect. And I can actually get rid of this. That's all we're doing. We're just basically getting a number from the user so we can access these list items using array indexing, which we learned about in the last lesson. So hopefully that's really clear. Task 4 will be the most difficult, but I know you can do this. So yes, have lots of fun and yeah, tell me what you can come up with. I'll be very interested to see what you do in your homework Replit. So have a wonderful, wonderful day, a wonderful week. I'll see you next week and yeah, have a great time.